This is a massive development for the Boston Celtics because even though they did lose their G League championship to the Oklahoma City Blue yesterday, they have some key young pieces that could be integral parts for the Celtics championship core in the future. And we're going to be breaking down, looking at all of these guys on this episode here on Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we dive in on all this Boston Celtics news, last night we had a fantastic G League watch-along live stream. If you guys are interested in the live watch-alongs, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and get ready with us because starting Sunday, when the playoffs are here to go, we're going to be doing these live watch-alongs. We did them at the regular season, and now we're going to be continuing to do them for the playoffs, and we want to have as many fans there. So if you guys enjoy this content, if you guys enjoy that, make sure to tell us and let us know that you guys will be there Sunday. Without further ado, though, let's get into this video at hand. It is a massive video as we discuss the development as the youth is brewing in Maine. As we all know, the Boston Celtics made the Eastern Conference Finals for the G League this year. After 7 years of not being able to do it, they got over that hump, led by guys like J.D. Davison, neemias, Jordan Walsh, Jrue Peterson, and these are the type of guys that can be key impact pieces for the Boston Celtics. Now, if we want to look at the box score from last night, it wasn't not the greatest performance. The Celtics held their own in basically every quarter besides the second. They unfortunately let the OKC Blue go on a 21-0 run in the second quarter, which let them break that lead from a 2-point game to almost a 30-point game. After that, the Maine Celtics brought the lead down to 12, 15, maybe close to 10. But at that point, the Blue had main control of the game. They had taken that over. The Celtics were also, just being a little lackluster, just shooting some threes, not really getting to the paint, and the referees were atrocious. If you guys were there, you heard me complaining about it as always. But as I mentioned, there are some key guys for this G League that could be key pieces for the Celtics in the future. And with how the new CBA is set, with the Celtics being a second apron team, them already extending Kristaps Porzingis, extending Jaylen Brown, extending Jrue Holiday very recently, and having to deal with the Supermax extension with Jayson Tatum in the offseason, and possibly giving Derrick White an extension in the future, this team is going to remain a second apron team. And what that means is the Boston Celtics aren't going to be able to go out and get these veteran type dudes. When they want to make trades, they're not going to be able to do multi-players in a deal to get one said superstar to just, give them a refresher, give them a restart. They're only going to be allowed to do one-for-one trades to either salary dump and lose some salary, or be able to, flip a guy with some picks in general for a better guy to do a roster flop. So having guys like Jordan Walsh, having guys like J.D. Davison, having guys like Jrue Peterson, who possibly could be the new Sam Hauser, which we'll get to in a little bit here, is key for the Boston Celtics because they already have, these key role players. And Brad Stevens is doing masterclass with the regular roster as well. Bringing in Xavier Tillman as that new Al Horford replacement. He knocks down that three-pointer. He can get comfortable from hitting that three at like 40% a game. Wowee, is he going to be our next Al Horford? And Brad Stevens legit found that by just going, oh, he's got similar body size. Oh, he's got similar play type. Oh, he can develop a jump shot. Let's bring him in here. He's great on the defensive floor. Just give him that jump shot. He can be big. Jaden Springer, a guy who's been solid in the Boston Celtics so far. Seen him in spurts here and there, but he is a lockdown machine, putting guys on an island and not letting them get by. Huge steals, even when he subbed in for 30, 40 seconds just to guard at the half court. He is giving it his all, giving his energy, giving it 100%. And those are things you want to see. But let's talk about some of these G League guys. Like I mentioned, we have a couple to bring up. One of them is Jordan Walsh, who did not have the best game yesterday, and it could have been due to the fact that Blaine Mueller, the Celtics head coach, according to Real Bob Manning, who was at the game, said that Jordan Walsh tweaked his ankle in the first, and that neemias was really sick, and they didn't know until the last minute if he was going to play or not. He gutted it out, but ran out of gas. Jrue Peterson also said that the Celtics did a great job displaying the path for an NBA role, such as a path like Sam Hauser's, and that was key for this Boston Celtics team. Like I mentioned, we want to look at how this team played in the matchup. No one really did that great. It was very bad. J.D. Davison had, I believe, 21 points, but he took 22 points, but he had a bunch of shots that he took. Him and DJ Stewart were just chucking those threes. Brandon Slater hit some big-time threes, but those are some of the young guys that we can look out for. Jordan Walsh, a guy who the Celtics traded back for, who helped them get Xavier Tillman and Jaden Springer with those extra second-round picks. He has been a beast on the defensive side for the Maine Celtics and could be a key contributor for how this team is going to work. I think that he could be a Grant Williams, again, a little bit of an Al Horford on the defensive side. Got to be able to get that jump shot down, but a 3-and-D wing, more on the defensive side, but can play make, can rebound, can get blocks. That's what you want to see. Talking about a guy in neemias, who we've been super hyped up on Celtics Digest. If you guys been following, check out our first video on neemias all the way back in July. You guys can scroll down. We have been gassing this guy up as he's a Portuguese native just like myself, but also for the fact that I think he can be a beast on the rebounding, on the offensive rebounds, be a beast at rim protecting for the Boston Celtics, and I truly think that he can grow into the second or third center. We all know that Kornet has been dominant this season for the Boston Celtics as a backup big, and he could, possibly get a bigger check in the offseason. So if that were the case, I think Nemi can kind of slot in and fill his role, be that guy, but even if not, having that competition between Kornet and Nemi is going to be huge. And Nemi developing and playing with this G League throughout the whole entire year, getting those reps in, kind of unlike Kornet, who was just sitting on the bench for some games, is huge for his development, huge for his play style, and huge for getting better for the Celtics team. They believe in him. They signed him to that last contract spot. They needed that bench depth, but they full-heartedly believe in this guy. From a guy who was a G League runner-up for MVP to now being the Celtics' 15th roster spot. Congratulations to neemias, and keep continuing to grow. Get better at finishing around the rim, get better at not committing fouls, and keep excelling in your offensive rebounding, in your blocking, because that's the role that you can provide for the Boston Celtics. That is the role that they need from you. Like I mentioned, other guys like J.D. Davison, Jrue Peterson, even Joe Wieskamp played pretty solid for this G League squad. Joe Wieskamp and Jrue Peterson being those three-point shooters for this Boston Celtics team, Maine Celtics team. And like Real Ball Mining said, Jrue Peterson said the Celtics did a great job of displaying the path for an NBA career, such like they did for Sam Hauser. And I've been preaching that Jrue Peterson could be our replacement for Sam Hauser. And I know that Sam Hauser has a club option this season. So he'll be back. He's going to be under that $2 million deal. But we saw Grayson Allen get 4 years, $70 million. We've seen Duncan Robinson get a healthy paycheck for being a great 3-and-D wing. And Sam Hauser is one of those types of guys who is going to be in that next echelon. He is going to be one of those next 3-and-D shooters that's going to be very, very effective. And the Celtics, unfortunately, aren't going to be able to give him that contract. They're not going to be able to give him that $15 million deal, that $14 million deal, maybe even that $10 million deal. The fans are going to want to see Sam Hauser get paid with, and Sam Hauser one day is hopefully going to accept. So with having Jrue Peterson as a two-way guy, nurturing him, getting him up, he could be that scorer in that three-point shooter and be that Horford replacement that is Sam Hauser. Kind of how the Celtics already have that replacement for Al Horford, kind of already have the replacement for Jrue Holiday and Marcus Smart-esque with Jaden Springer. And then if we want to keep looking, J.D. Davidson, DJ Stewart, two other guards that have been, solid with this team. DJ Stewart, coming out of Duke, a nice young prospect, a guy who, could be on the Celtics main G League team next year, but maybe could work his way to a two-way spot next year. And J.D. Davidson has been working his butt off. Man, oh man, J.D. Davidson. J.D. Davidson on his summer plans is to head up to Boston, be with them for the playoff run, and work, hoping to find an opportunity. Like Rob Version has mentioned in a bunch of our streams talking about J.D. Davidson in our comment section, it's going to be tough for a guy like J.D. to find a spot here with Pritchard, with Derrick White, with Jrue Holiday already being so great on the offensive side. I truly think that if Payton Pritchard and the Celtics are able to win a championship, he might express those trade options again after balling out at the end of the season. I think he could be a starting point guard, and I truly think that he believes that in himself. So if he gets the chip with the Boston Celtics, if he gets that, already done, he might want to move on with his career, might want to better himself, getting a long-term deal and making some more money in the NBA. So who knows? He could ask for another trade, and the Boston Celtics could bring up a guy like JD to be that offensive replacement. Now, he's not going to be no Payton Pritchard, God almighty, but he could be that substantial third point guard and being that offense creator for our bench unit. Now, if that's not the case, if Payton Pritchard does want to stay locked up long term, we do only have 1 year left of J.D. Davidson being G League eligible, and then he is going to probably want to get another move, probably move out. He could be a guy like neemias, who was balling out on the Kings, could get swooped up by another team, and that's something the Celtics desperately don't want to see. A guy that was drafted for this team from Alabama, in the second round, could be a key piece for the Celtics' developmental future, and they can't let those pieces go away. Do not let J.D. Davidson slip away from our fingers. That would be an absolute disgrace for the Boston Celtics, because I would not be happy with that at all. But like I mentioned, we're going to talk about some more stuff as well, but let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What do you guys think about these major developments brewing up in Boston? Like I mentioned, with the new CBA, with how things are going to work, we're going to have to build some of these rookie young guys and have them, blossom out of our G League. We've seen it with Sam Hauser. Kornet has done some little stints in the G League, but he's, seeing that rise. And now neemias, recognizes Luke Kornet, gives him the praise for talking with him and helping him out through this G League push. That is going to be a key X factor. Guys like Walsh, guys like Neemias, guys like Peterson being able to come up and rise through the ranks is going to be huge for the Celtics' success as a championship contender if they lose guys, but also for the young guys' development and for the main Celtics as well. We want to see all of the Celtics succeed. So best of luck to the main Celtics next year. You guys did a fantastic job. Even though you did come up short, all the Celtics community is fantastic and blessed that you guys made the finals just to begin with. Take that and be happy with it. We're all ecstatic. Yes, we could not get the job done, but don't be too hard on yourself. Just get them back next year. But like I mentioned, without further ado, before we finish off the video, we got to get to the comment of the day. So let us know what you think down below about the Boston Celtics and this youth movement. What do you guys think down below? Do you think any of these guys could be key pieces and you could be featured for comment of the day for the next video? But like I mentioned, we got our comment of the day here from one of our faithful and loyal subscribers here, Kamar Porter 6099. I see you always commenting, always giving hype up, so I appreciate you leaving your thoughts and opinions. But you say that I think none of the East can worry except the Pacers, but if we go 7, we have that in the bag. And that was referring to our last video with Josh and Isaac, myself, where we broke down our playoff implications and who we're going to play. Like I mentioned, if you guys missed that video, check it out. But I think you're 100% right. I'm not scared of anybody. Joel Embiid, we know that we can beat him up. Milwaukee's had defensive problems and Giannis is not healthy. They don't scare me. The Knicks are the one team that is questionable with their depth, but can their defense hold out our offense? We'll have to see. The Pacers, a little bit inexperienced. They did get us in the regular season, but we did beat them their first matchup. They had no Tyrese Halliburton, but it's A-okay. Cavs and Magic, I don't think stand any issues. In the Miami Heat, we are not worried this year. I'm telling you, the Celtics are going to come out of the East, and I am ecstatic. Let's go, Boston Celtics. Let's go, Kamar. Let's hope for a deep playoff run. And like I mentioned, if you guys want to stay up to date, if you guys want to make sure you stay intact as the Boston Celtics hope to make a deep playoff push this playoff season, gotta hit that subscribe button, gotta stay tuned on Celtics Digest. Check out the videos pinned at the top. Check us in our live streams. Like I mentioned, we're gonna have a watch along live stream on Sunday. We did them all regular season. They're gonna be back for the playoffs. We're gonna be hyped up. We're gonna be ready to go. You guys better be there showing the support. On Saturday, we're gonna be doing a radio call-in live stream discussing our first round opponents, where you guys can be featured, where you can give your thoughts and opinions on what you think the Celtics will do in that matchup. It could be the Sixers, it could be the Heat. We'll find out Friday night, but Saturday afternoon we'll have a live stream ready to go, breaking down all of that with my thoughts and your guys' thoughts. If you want to be part of that, make sure to join the Discord linked down below in the description so you can get in line right away and be one of the first people to be engaging on that live radio call. Like I mentioned, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here of Celtics Digest. As the Celtics gear up for the playoffs, we are gearing up here on the channel as well. So be expecting more videos, more content, more live streams. It's going to be a blast. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and have a great rest of your day. Go Boston Celtics.